guys, the BBG. I'm Mark flying solo, taking over while Jeremy's preoccupied with his brand new baby. So, during the month of Mark, as I'll call it, I'll be playing several games where I know I can beat them really quick. First up happens to be the very first video game I ever played, Rayman 1. Now, the thing is, I played on the PlayStation version, and this is the PC version, mainly because my PlayStation just doesn't work anymore. Plus, I don't think I can record off of the PlayStation. Either way, we're gonna get started in the PC version. Sure, there's not too many differences. Let's start it right up. See, new game. Alright, there's already a little bit of differences. I gotta get used to my key bindings. I don't even know if they are yet. Aha, I can scroll backwards. Look at that.
Hi, folks! You wanna know what's going on? Let me tell you the story of Rayman! In Rayman's world, nature and people live together in peace. The great Protoon provides and maintains the harmony and balance in the world. Sorry, folks. This apparently can't last. One fateful day, the evil Mr. Dark steals the great Protoon and defeats Spatilla the Fairy as she tries to protect it. The Electoons, who used to gravitate around it, lose their natural stability and scatter all over the world! Troublesome, isn't it? And untidy, too. In this now unbalanced world, strange phenomena begin to occur. Freaks and hostile characters appear, capturing every Electoon they can find. They definitely need a hero to save them now! Don't you think? Rayman to the rescue!
No problem.
Go and free all of the Electoons, Rayman, and bring back the great Protoon from its mysterious kidnapper. But will the bad guys let him do it?
And there you got the plot of the whole game. Mr. Dark is evil, Rayman's good, he stole the heart of the world, booyah booyah. Starting off right at the first level, which is Pink Plant Woods. Yeah, we didn't have these really cool effects on the PlayStation version. Now the background looks a little bit crustier than the PlayStation version, but other than that, they're still really gorgeous. Woo. And I don't like the noise the collectibles in here make. The blue orbs, which are called tings, in the PlayStation version they make a cool little chime. Here they sound like popping bubbles. I'll get used to it. Yoink, yoink. Jump on this oddly hand-shaped tree. Whoosh. Now, before you get your hopes up, no, this isn't the whole level. Each level is actually made up of several smaller levels inside of it. So, the Pink Plant Woods, for example, I believe has 3. So, you know, this is the second one. And this game is really based around backtracking, too, since some of the collectibles you can't get until you get a power later on. Here's one of our first little collectibles, if you want to call them that. The Magician! You pay him 10 tings to play a minigame. Most of them, actually, I think all of them are ting collecting challenges. This one, he wants us to collect 10. We go to a small arena, run around, grab them. Let's see here. Darn it! I used to be able to get all of those, but I feel like this version of the game plays slightly different compared to the PlayStation. But then again, it has been a really long time, like 10 years since I've played that. Ah! If you heard that little jingle, it means an enemy appeared. That's one of the main gimmicks of this game is You go to the right spot, and things just pop out of nowhere. You can't deal with these little guys right now. They're called anti-tunes. I guess the contrast to the Ep1s. Yum yum. We have no way of fighting or defending ourselves, really. So the best way to do is just continue onwards and jump. It's not like Mario where you can jump over enemies. There's a checkpoint. Mr. Photo Man. Though, when you think about it, that's a naked Rayman person. Except they're wearing gloves, but still. That's terrifying. Now, we do actually have a way to defend ourselves against these large ogre-like creatures. If you make a grimace at them, it freaks them out and they go running off. And with any luck, you'll run them into the water where they'll drown. There's a cage. Can't do anything about that. If you see any cages that you can't get to, though, remember where you see them. That way, when you do backtrack, it's easier to get them. Let's see here. Yep, first power. Hello, Rayman. I'm Batilla the Fairy, and I'm going to help you in your quest. I can give you a new power. You can now punch with your fists. Good luck. Yeah, punching time. So, you know, it goes out, comes back. You can hit things on the way out, or if you miss, it usually can take them out on the way back. Ooh, hiccups. And fruit. Giant plums. They're very, very versatile. Though they only appear in the forest world. We'll use them for a lot of things. In fact, right here. Second kind of collectible in the game are these trophy stands. I actually collected one earlier. They give you an extra life, and they refill your health if you're low. Definitely worth picking up if you're in a pickle. You can see down there, that golden fist will actually increase the power of our fist. Hey. Doubtful is, it's in the water. You're like, we can't get to that, you'll die. Well, these plums, they're just plumb useful. They float. So we can get that. Now our fist is at maximum power. But there's something else we can do with plums. That was I gotta get it back up there. Come on. There we go. Sticks right on that guy's head. Now you see up there, that's our second power up. Oh, we made a cage up here when we jumped up there too. That's the speed fist. Now our fists go out really fast. It's really good because some enemies later on are smart and they'll try to dodge. Oh. And the speed fist will make it harder for them to dodge it. In fact, those short little guys right there will try to dodge your fist whenever you throw it. Thankfully, there's a way you can still take them out. You just gotta get creative about it. There's a hunter. He will appear in pretty much every single world of the game. Most of the enemies are unique to the world they are found in, except for him. He's everywhere. Look at that. You normally take 2 hits to kill these guys. Golden Fist, 1. Now you see that, you're like, oh man, I can't grab that. Don't worry. 9 times out of 10, if you see something you can't quite get to, a little exploration will find that there's more. There we go, you saw that right there. The fist follows your body. So, if an enemy's ducking, just duck and your fist will come back to you and hit them. Get out of here. Splash. That giant P right there is another one of the few collectibles in this game. It is health. Collect it and it gives you 5 HP and fully restores any HP you've lost. Very useful, very, very nice to have that extra 2 hits. Because every time you die, you restart with only 3. There we go. And this game is actually notoriously difficult. And starting with just 3 could be a very, very bad thing if you're in a tough area. I remember most of this game by heart, so I shouldn't be too bad. But, you know, if you're playing this for the first time, it could get to you. Pink Plant Woods complete. We could save our game up there, but I think we're good. We'll move on to English Lagoon. Second level of the game. Not too bad. Still in the swampy areas. Get ourselves a new mechanic here. These giant plums are attached to vines. Doubtfall is right here. We can't really do anything at the moment. We just don't have the necessary powers, so remember it, they'll come back. If I may say one thing that this game has a lot of that I really don't like, it's gimmicks that appear for like one level and then you never see them again. For example, those swinging fruit. I mean, you'll see them once or twice elsewhere, or the fruit in general. They only exist in the plant levels. I'm like, for something that became a series staple, you'd think the plum would have been everywhere. Plus, it could have worked in some of the other worlds of the game. Plus, there'll be a whole bunch of other assets later on that are just like that. A team floating out of nowhere with a power-up above it. Ha! Doubtful is, I don't think the... Oh, that makes a cage appear too. So I don't think the power-ups, like the golden power stacks, but I believe there's multiple stages of speed, so like, you can have 1 speed, 2 speed, and 3 speed? Look at that. Over halfway. Next stage should be our first boss. And... yes! Though this is more of a mini-boss than anything. Oh, we're one thing away from a 1-up. First boss, Mosquito. I think his name is Bzz. He telegraphs where he's going to sting, so just watch out for that. You have a couple seconds to get out of the way if you notice. But after a couple hits, he starts attacking from the side of the screen. If you're smart or you're really quick with your fist, you can punch him before he even hits you. Gosh, I'm doing bad. 1 hit left though. He only had 5. Poor guy. Shouldn't have been defending your home from me. Yeah! Don't worry, Rayman, nice guy. He makes sure good, very good mesquite have friendship. And now he offers to give us a ride. This is probably one of my favorite levels in the game just for how it works. It's like, yeah, we're in a flight simulator game now. I'm playing Gradius. Better take the hit and get the full HP back. These spiky fruits will be appearing a lot in the future. They only fall whenever you get under them, so use that to your advantage. Also use them to uncover puzzles like that. No, the mosquito levels in Origins and Legends, oh no, 1-up, were inspired by this particular section, but this only appears once in the entire game. I'm like, it would have been really cool if there was a mosquito level in every single world of Rayman 1. Whoa! Turbo speed! Boink, boink, boink. I don't know if those ones actually fall. You're going so fast you can't see. And you can't even go back. And just like that, we're already done with our buddy Mosquito. We'll never see him again. Bye! More powers? You're courageous, Rayman, but you'll have to keep at it. You can now hang yourself. Don't worry, the world doesn't need you anyways. Yeah, I find like this is like one of those powers that we should have had from the get-go. I mean, why couldn't Rayman just grab onto a ledge before? Would our body pop away from our arm? And it seems like a useless power, but it actually is kind of really useful. Anytime you're almost short on a jump, you can usually latch onto the ledge. But I know for a fact that there's a boss later on you can't complete without the hanging power. 2 away from completion there. Now the path actually splits. We could go into World 2 Bandland, but we won't be able to go too much further because we need a power that you can get later on in the Dream Forest. So let's go on to the Swamps of Forgetfulness. Let's hope we don't forget anything while we're here, though. Who are you? Aha, your clothing ripped off and you're naked? Well, that's just too bad. I want them.
Hey, Rayman! Take this magic seed!
I don't remember there being voice acting.
There wasn't voice acting in my Rayman.
Now this is our first instances of what I always call a go with the flow level. This one in particular, though, is extremely nerve-wracking. Anytime there's stages like this music is what normally plays, and the music itself already gets you a little nervous because it sounds epic. But this one scrolls upwards instead of left and right, so you don't have as much room to maneuver yourself because you can't see as far. Plus the whole atmosphere. This is a rainstorm, a monsoon, a flood. Drowning is terrifying. Plus I keep forgetting which key I have bound to the actions. And you can kind of get ahead, but the screen will stop you. They'll be like, nope, you can't jump that high. So, you think you can jump? If you are quick, though, there's a little bonus for you. You get a 1-up if you get to the exit quickly. Downfall is most people are so concerned about getting out of here that they don't even bother returning for it. This is probably the area where you were supposed to figure out how to drop plums on these guys' heads. But you know, a smart player can figure it out ahead of time. Also, the stage has a lot of split paths that are pretty basic. You could take the upper path. It is safer, less enemies, but in this level, the lower path is where you're going to find all your secrets. No! I'm like, don't you go falling that way. There we go. I'm like, just fall in the water. Keep going down this way. Cage appears. I think this isn't going to be the case in the PC version, but in the PlayStation version, this is the first stage you can complete 100% in your first go-through. Every other stage so far, you've had to have power and backtrack. Here, you could just get them all. There we go. I'm like, come on. Let's see what's over here. A 1-up pedestal. Gosh, I'm already up to 12. Wonder when I'll lose my first life. It'll probably be something stupid that I brought on myself, though. It won't because I took damage. Mainly I'll misjudge a jump, or I'll be like, oh, I can just run right through here, Leroy Jenkins style. Red fruit. You know, in the PlayStation version, not to keep making those comparisons, those fruit were orange. I guess red makes them look more like I don't know what it makes them look like, but they don't look tastier red. Let's see, can I make this jump? Ooh, no, I can't. Oh, whew. I was gonna say, I don't want to die to that. That wasn't there in the original version I played. I wasn't expecting it. I feel like they could have just made this all thorns instead of just putting a bunch of fruit. Let's see here. There you are. No, I don't want to play your minigame, buddy. Yoink. Good thing these things reappear. Come on, folks, and see this. The tallest vine in the game. You can climb it forever. Just keep going. When you hit the top, you'll find treasure. I'd like to point out, if you see on the top of that mountain back there, that white one, that is the Blue Mountain level, or world technically, that we'll be visiting later on in the game. You can even see the pedestal on top of it that's useful in a later level on in that world. It's a nice little way to connect everything together. Ooh, look at that. We've already completed another one. And another one that I'm too shy on. Alright, one more, let's go. Mosquito's Nest. Is this where our buddy lives? Now, this is the first level if you go and do all of them at once, where the difficulty kind of starts ramping up. If you don't quite know the mechanics of the game yet, you might want to save this level for later, because it starts throwing things at you hard. You gotta know good plumb control for this, good jumping skills, and you gotta be ready for split-second decisions. There's a lot of close calls in here too, where things are just really, really close. It's like, oh, there's an enemy and a swinging spike fruit. For whatever reason, these piranhas right here really mess me up all the time, and I don't know why. Oh no, I missed the checkpoint. Even though my HP is full, I can always use a little more. If I remember right, the DSi version of this game gave you 10 HP when you collected one of those, so the odds of dying due to enemies was really, really low. Oh, come on. No! Bye, Plum. Come on. Respawn. There's one of the smaller versions of the health power-up. This one only gives you 2. There it is. There'll be another variant of that, it only gives you 1. As the game gets further along, you'll be finding more of those and less of the giant ones. And they'll be a lot less common too, so it's like, when you find it, you need to make sure it counts. What's really annoying about those anti-tunes is you have to duck to punch them when they're on the same ground level as you. It's better off just to avoid them. I'm curious. Is there anything up top of that tree? Nothing. Alright. I feel like they could have put some teams or a 1-up or even a cage up there if they really wanted to. Now, coming up here is a very terrifying creature. Growing up, we always went straight to Bandland because it was the cooler world, so we never really played Mosquito's Nest. We never saw this abomination. It's like, what the heck is that? It spits enemies, you punch it, it creates more, and it doesn't really telegraph how you're supposed to defeat it, but you just gotta punch it in the lip. It will respawn after a few seconds. It's your chance to jump over it, but if you keep at it, you will eventually kill it. You can tell you're close when it starts spitting out 2 enemies instead of 1. And that creature's just so, like, out of place, too. It's like a living tentacle that breathes ogres. And, ugh, it's creepy. Looks like something you find in Earthworm Jim, not in Rayman. The magical up lily. Oh, see, that hanging ability. Saving my skin. Ah, and there's the 1 version right there. It's like once you really get the hang of how things appear here, you can kind of tell where things are going to appear. It's like, boy, there's a tree I could walk on. I heard something appear. Look at that. Kind of like Kirby games. Once you've played them enough, you can start to see where secrets are going to be. This level is the first one that really super ramps up the difficulty. This is all about jump mastery. If you have the time or the patience, it's probably better to go to Bandland and get the gliding ability for this area. But I know this area pretty well. I think I can do it in one fell swoop. It's just all about precision jumping and knowing where the platforms are going to be, not where they are. That also is a trick right there. If you don't jump over one of those platforms, you'll land right where those anti-tunes are and you'll get knocked into the water. That's really brutal. I saw a cage down there, but I have no idea how to get there. There's no swimming power in this game, so it's not like you'll be able to get that later and come over. And nothing up there. Ah! And you can't knock the fruit off the swinging ones either, so... Huh. Wonder if you have to climb that vine or something once you get the gliding power. Who knows, I have to return here anyways with the power to get all the cages, so we'll check it out when we get back. Haha. Don't want to get too crazy and start running, or you'll run right into danger. No! I want you to go this way. And something I don't know if I mentioned or if you've noticed it yet, your fish, sure, it can hit things on the rebound, but if it hits something first, then rebounds, it won't do damage. For example, when I hit that fruit, my fist no longer had any punching power, so it didn't do any damage to the plum. There we go. I think it's kind of silly. Your fish should disappear then whenever it loses power instead of just going, no! That way you don't get your shots messed up. Surely plenty of times you plan on hitting an enemy with a return fist, and it just happens to tap something else and messes up your whole operation. Oh geez, another go with the flow level. Something there chasing us with a giant fruit. Can't even punch it. Jump over these anti-tunes. Watch out for these giant fruit. I guess if you let them grow long enough, they become that big one. Though that's not even a solid object, you can't hit it. Mosquito, I thought we were friends. Why are you doing this? Did you forget who we were? Which is probably exactly what happened. He probably went to the swamps of forgetfulness. It makes you forget everything in fullness. Yeah. This area also is kind of nasty. I mean, you only have to fight this once. This is one of those stages where after you complete the world, you never have to do this stage again, thankfully. There's a few of those here and there. They're usually boss chase stages where you're introduced to the boss of that world. Let's see, I think one more before we get to the actual boss. I kind of like these logs. I feel like they could have been used elsewhere in the game to really kind of give that this is a swamp/forest feel. Let's see here. Jump. It's also a very short level. Oh, nope. No! See, it's an uphill struggle to get that plum up there, but it's worth it to get the cage and the one up that appear. Alright, one more time. There we go. I almost just walked off the plum into the water. That would have been plumb stupid. I said there's only 2 cages left and I know where they both are. That'll be easy when we do the return trip. But here we are, the boss. It's a mosquito again, but this time with the hard rock music. And it's not going to be as easy as the first time. He's picked up a couple new tricks. In addition to some new tricks, he also has a massive amount of HP. One of the highest in the game. Right there, there's his new trick. He uses fruit to attack us. The PlayStation version, actually, this was a completely different mosquito than the first one. This one's pink like the one we befriended. The PlayStation one's like brown, blue, and red instead. So they're completely different characters. Here, it's the same guy. Which makes sense, since, you know, he went through the swamps of forgetfulness. I guess it would also make sense for a completely different mosquito that's just evil. I guess you could say this one's corrupted by the loss of the heart of the world. Whoa! Don't feel like you should be able to duck under that, but whatever. Let's listen to this sweet music while we wait. Say there's one good thing about this game. The bosses all have a pattern. So once you figure out their pattern, it's just a matter of waiting for a time to hit them, as opposed to having to figure out what they're going to do each and every time. does make certain fights like this one where they have a lot of HP kind of tedious, but at the same time, it makes it so if you're a new player or you're low on HP, you can dodge everything. Aha, 1 HP left already. Ew. It's a shame we never see this background again. It's really pretty. No mercy for you this time. You failed me for the last time, Skywalker.
Excellent. Oh, I don't remember my Rayman having voice acting.
Wait, what? Okay, this is something that's got to be exclusive to the PC version. I don't remember this in my Rayman on PlayStation. Is he flying a plane? Or maybe he's driving a car. I don't know. Water skiing? Well, either way, he just crashed. Good thing he doesn't have any legs to break. A gloomy part of your quest will start now. I hope this will help you to avoid the West. Now, in the PlayStation version, she said, I hope this will help you avoid perilous traps. Wonder what's with the text change. By the way, she gave us the ability to grapple, which means these flying rings, which that's exactly what they're called, flying rings, can be used to swing around. They did get retconned in Rayman 2 to be called purple looms, even though they're pink. This grapple ability also has some other uses. You can use it to grab extra lives that are out of reach. Now, you can't grab health power-ups or anything, that'd be too nice. But there we go. The entire first world completed. Not 100%, but pretty gosh dang close. I think next episode we're gonna go into Bandland and actually see what's all over here. Giant trumpets, piano slides, drums in the sky. Oh boy, oh boy. Until then, everybody, I'll see ya. Ciao.